Netanyahu faces protests during UN General Assembly speech. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was met with protests and widespread walkouts as he addressed the United Nations General Assembly. As he began his remarks, numerous country representatives exited the hall, leaving him to speak before a largely empty chamber, while pro-Palestinian demonstrations took place outside the UN building. Netanyahu has come under mounting international criticism over Israel's military campaign in the Gaza Strip since October 7, 2023, and the restrictions placed on humanitarian aid, which have resulted in what observers describe as a humanitarian catastrophe. When the Israeli premier entered the hall to deliver his address to the 80th General Assembly, delegates from multiple nations stood up and walked out, significantly emptying the room. Outside, protesters challenged arriving delegations with chants such as, "Why are you going to listen to Netanyahu?" The protests delayed the start of his remarks, and audible murmurs were reported throughout his speech. The Iranian delegation placed photographs of civilians killed in Israeli attacks on Iran on their desks before leaving the chamber. In his address, Netanyahu referenced Israeli operations in Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria, portraying Iran as a global threat and insisting that Israel's strikes against it were legitimate. He warned that Israel would not allow Iran to rebuild its military nuclear capacity and called on the UN Security Council to reinstate sanctions against Tehran. The prime minister suggested that negotiations with Syria on a potential security agreement could yield results, while also inviting Lebanon to begin peace talks, despite Israel continuing near-daily attacks on the country, even under a ceasefire. Defending Israel's campaign in Gaza, Netanyahu rejected accusations of genocide, despite reports that more than 65,000 Palestinians have been killed in the enclave. In a controversial move, Netanyahu ordered the Israeli military to broadcast his UN speech through loudspeakers in Gaza, claiming it would allow Israeli hostages to hear him. He further asserted that his words were being transmitted directly to the mobile phones of Gaza residents, a claim later denied by reports from the territory.